USDJPY. And what an interesting scenario we have here since the beginning of the week, as you will see that this market has been constantly range bound in the last 24 hours, as both buyers and sellers are still struggling to make a statement in this particular market. And of course, I'm not surprised at this scenario here, considering the fact that we're looking forward to this all important central bank meeting coming up much more later this week. Now, both economies here are going to be witnessing economic events, interest rate decisions. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the U.S. economy will be featuring their rate decisions, and on Friday, the Japanese economy will be featuring its own interest rate decision. So you can see how important this event is for this particular market. And as a result of this, we have this whole choppy situation where price has been ranging between the 147.890 and the 147.600 to further emphasize the level of uncertainty in this market. Now, with the situation we have here, remember during our live session yesterday, we said here that we were going to be buying above the 147.720. That is a breakout and retest of that structure to capitalize on that move. And in fact, we had a buy position triggered during the early hours of today, as we saw price moved about 17 pips in our favor before this bearish momentum came in to take us out of that position. And of course, if you had moved your stop losses accordingly, you must have been taken out with a worst case scenario break even on this one. But with the way things are going here, I still think that price will still continue to the upside. Now, why have I said so? Well, there are a lot of parameters here that are screaming buy, 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 but I would like to share with you what we saw on the 4 hours time frame, which makes it very promising to look for buying opportunities in this market. Now, on the 4 hours time frame, we identified an uptrend continuation pattern, if you remember. So I will do a visual representation so you can see what I'm talking about. So following the impulsive move that brought us into this juncture since the beginning of this month, we can see an horizontal resistance line here along the 147.950, and remember that this level was our key level for this week, and you know how we use our key levels in this community. When price breaks out of the key level, then we'll be looking out for buying opportunities. But if price remains below the key level with persistent selling pressure, then we want to be getting ready to sell. So we had an ascending triangle, which from a technical standpoint is considered as a strong uptrend continuation pattern. And of course, when we see this kind of pattern on the chart, it's a clear sign that buyers are trying to break through this resistance level. And in fact, with this comes with higher lows, as you will see here. And we know that at some point in time, this ceiling will cave in to incite a final breakout of the structure. So we're looking forward to the breakout of the 147.950 to confirm this uptrend continuation pattern so that we can join the uptrend move. Now you can see why I said this structure here on this chart is screaming bullish. However, in as much as we're looking out for buying opportunity here, we cannot ignore the potentials of sellers, as we have seen how the 147.950 area had been a strong barrier for buyers since the beginning of this month. And if the scenario persists, we could see a situation where this ascending trend line, so this trend line here has been supporting a bullish momentum since the beginning of this month. And if it so happens that this trend line is broken to the downside, this will be the first time price will be breaking down that structure, and in fact a signal that we might likely be seeing a momentum shift. Now, a breakdown retest of the structure is all we need to capitalize on the bearish move. Of course, we don't know how far that will go, but we will be projecting the 145 area, considering the round figure of that level, as an area to have a TP target. But one thing for sure here is that if we are going to be selling, let's ensure that we are on standby to move our stop losses accordingly to secure the current position, as I still think that the current market structure here is projecting a bullish sentiment. Now, with the information we have gathered here on the 4 hours time frame, so I would like us to go back down into the 1 hour time frame to see how market participant has been reacting to that zone just right below the 147.950. And we're also going to be talking about how price action has been rejecting that ascending trend line, as you that ascending trend line. As you will see, we've been noticing buy pressure around that ascending trend line since the beginning of the week to further emphasize the strength of the buyers here. Now, scaling down into the 1 hour time frame, we were able to spot a range which I showed you earlier. And besides that range, there is something interesting I would like to let you know. Now, if you look at what has been going on here since the beginning of the week, you would observe that that area between the 147.650 and the 147.550 has been a buying niche since the beginning of this week. As you will see that as soon as price gets into the zone, sellers have always struggled to break through the 147.600 zone and even break down that ascending trend line. So the continued buy pressure here, and if you look at the nature of the wick of those candles, it gives us a sign that sellers were unable to settle below the 147.600 at no point in time. Now, for me personally, I'm of the opinion that buyers are still present in this market, so I will still be looking out for more opportunities to buy above the 147.720. And if price continues to climb to find new highs, then I will be looking out for more opportunities at the breakout of the 147.890 and the 147.950. Remember, this zone is the resistant line of that uptrend continuation pattern we identified on the higher time frame. So this is how I am projecting and positioning myself for buying opportunity on the USDJPY. So we are looking at anywhere above the 147.420, and in fact you can see how it's coincidentally shares a confluence with that ascending trend line. So will price respect that trend line one more time to push an uptrend? Let's see how the market would react to the zone. So mark out these levels and let's look out for more buying opportunities at this point in time. However, if at any point price drops and breaks down the 147.600 significantly well, then we shall be looking out for selling opportunities. Now look at how that area has been. So I will need price to take out all the buy positions around the 147.600 zone for me to feel confident selling the USDJPY. So I would like to see something like a slice through retest of structure, then we want to be joining that decline all the way to the downside. However, we could still have an opportunity to join before the breakdown of structure if we can notice lower highs and lower lows. But I will feel very comfortable below the 147.600, taking out all the buy positions, retest of structure, then we can join that decline to the downside. So this is where our center of focus is going to be for today. So you do want to be marking out this level. So we shall be around the 147.720 and the 147.600. And please don't forget to mark out that ascending trend line, as it is going to be playing a major role in determining where price will be heading to for this week. So let's see how the market will react. And of course, we shall be back here tomorrow to review how well this asset has been doing. So it's on this note I would like to round off right now, and unfortunately I'm not able to monitor your feedbacks in the comment section due to my inability to load the comment box, but I hope by tomorrow things will be a little bit more better. But from what we've done so far, I'm of the opinion that I've made it a little bit more comprehensive for us to capitalize on any potential move. So for today, we were able to attend to 4 major financial assets, which includes the US All Spot, the US Tech 100, popularly known as the NASDAQ. We also attended to the XAUUSD, popularly known as the gold spot, and of course the USDJPY, and all of which we were able to identify simple setups using parameters such as trend lines, key levels, and chart patterns to understand the psychology behind the price movement, and of course use the informations to position ourselves ahead of the New York session. So I encourage us all to remain very patient. Let's allow our structures to mature before we jump into a position. And mind you, the market is very choppy in the last 24 hours, and this is because of the event we are looking forward to. And this kind of environment has a tendency of inciting compulsive trading behaviors. So let's be mindful of this. Mark out your levels on your chart, wait for price to run through your levels, fulfill them, and then join any position at that point. For those who joined us for the first time, I do hope you are able to gain one or two things today. And I look forward to seeing more of you. And I trust me, the more time you spend with us, the better you get in understanding how this works and eventually be able to use the information you have gathered here to make your own independent trading decisions. So on this note, I look forward to seeing more of you tomorrow. Same time, 10 a.m. UTC, 11 a.m. West African time, as we come back here again to review how well this asset has been doing, and at the same time get ready for tomorrow's trading session, which promises to be an interesting one considering the US Fed interest rate decision everyone in the market is looking forward to. So you don't want to miss out on our sessions tomorrow. And on this note, I wish you best of luck and do have a wonderful and beautiful evening.